Hey there. Start here. So I decided to go ahead and record my Esther tanking clear, even though we're getting the new Best Bunny Girl after maintenance, and you know she's basically just going to crush it. To honor the bunny goddess, and you know, to do one last one last trial with Neovision Esther, I figure I would just go ahead and show off Esther tanking this this boss rush. And so for this one, I haven't used my new CK Rain for anything really, except for like the Season 4 mission against Byakuya, and that one was pretty easy. So this was like, I don't know, I guess you could say the first serious content where I've gotten to use Crimson Knight Rain. So I figured I'd bring him in here. And you may think that's cheating. Oh, it's like, oh, but he can tank. And it's like, well, he's actually, if you want to build him as a damage dealer, he's not going to be able to tank for you while he's dealing damage, because you actually need a fair amount of elemental resistances here if you want your tank to survive. And so, you know, building Rain for both elemental resistances and for damage, it takes, you know, it takes a lot of his damage out. If you want to build him to tank and try to deal damage. So it just makes more sense to just leave him as a damage dealer and let Esther do the tanking for you. So for this one, we've got a couple of new units in the lineup as well. We've got Saz, who's kind of like the great balance with Vanille. So we know Vanille, you know, does the imperils and the imperil fields for the elements you need, fire, lightning, and water. Well, Saz imbues and amps those elements with an amp field to fire, lightning, and water as well. So he works really, really well for this trial. So he's going to be our imbue, amp, and buffer for this trial. And then Roberta's here. She's got a couple of nice support skills in her kit. She has undispellable buffs, which is really nice. She's got some LB fill in her kit, which we will use. And she also has dragon and Aquan killers, which are quite helpful. So I'm bringing her along just to show what she can do. And then, of course, we've got Esther, who's going to be tanking this fight for us. This is just to prove that she can do it, and also just to have, you know, one last bit of fun with Neovision Esther before we get Neovision Plus Esther tomorrow. So let's go ahead and show you the gear. There's no RNG in this fight, so I can go ahead and show you the gear now. And then we'll get to the fight. So Vanille, just like in my first clear that I showed you with her, she is our passive provoke unit, so perfect provocation. And then just making sure she has full evasion, so escape artist, runaway, and then dragon scale garb gives her 100% evasion. Hairpin of Purity is there for ailment resist, Vermilion Flag for death resist. However, we're not going to actually need the death resist because we are going to skip that element completely. Against the chaotic engine, but it's there just in case. And then her own TMR for the stop resist, first rate treasure hunter for charm resist. That is for the Siren fight. And then I gave her this card so that she has at least one stack of guts. That is very important for one of the trials or one of the waves, and we'll talk about it when we get there. Esther, in her normal form, I just needed to give her some form of guts. That's why she has this. You don't have to have this, all right? You don't have to have the high celestite coat. I just threw that on there because it's an easy way to give her, you know, at least one stack of guts. There are lots of other materials you can give it. Because it's funny, she actually has no source of guts in her normal form, but she has 3 stacks of guts in her Brave Shift form. Very strange, but yeah, so she needs at least one stack of guts in her normal form. Sword of Kings is very important for the power to destroy Nethicite, and I'll explain why that's important when we get to that wave in the fight. Otherwise, yeah, just, you know, you can just basically give her whatever she has in her Brave Shift form as well, and just kind of sync those forms, and then just, you know, swap out Sword of Kings, and then give her something for ailment, something for the guts. In her Brave Shift form, though, since she is going to be tanking, just a high spirit greatsword, because she does get some nice passes if you equip her with a greatsword. Honor of Grenshield is nice because it has good ice resist. You want her built for pretty high elemental resists, mostly focusing on fire, ice, water, and dark. So dark is for Tahto, because Tahto's apocalypse attack, I did figure out, is a dark elemental attack. So she'll need some resistance to dark to make sure she doesn't die from Tahto's apocalypse attack. All right, and that's pretty much all she needs. So fire, ice, water, and dark are really the main ones you need to worry about there. And then, yeah, just a good smattering of resists. So the Prophet's diadem is good for the ailment resists. Blizzard Orb is not only good for the death resist, even though we're not going to need it. Even though we're not going to need it for the death resist, we need it for the counters, which helps Esther refill her LB, because all of her skills require her LB. Scorched Earth is good for fire resist. Priestess's Vengeance for ice and water and dark. Cool Beauty, again, for ice, water, and dark. And then she does need her own TMR equipped. And then, yeah, Sacred Shield Vision card, still a fantastic Vision card. Get it from the shop, because it is free. All right, so my Crimson Knight Rain has the Dark Apocalypse Greatsword. All right, hopefully, if you don't have enough dark matter to buy it, hopefully you get enough from the Vision World rewards, which we should get after maintenance. And Morgana has dark matter in her rewards, so when you go into the new Morgana trial, which will be available after maintenance, there is dark matter in the rewards for defeating her. So hopefully you can get enough for that Greatsword after that. Because it will be BIS on the new Esther, by the way. You will want the Dark Apocalypse for the new Esther that we're getting tomorrow. Kirasame's Cape for Death Resist, even though we don't need it. I threw it on there just in case. Ruler's Helm, and then Magister's Ring for Chain Cap boost. I love Chocobos for the Ailment Resist. Fated Solitude just to max out his LB damage. Code of Samurai, Chains of Strength for Omni Killers. And then this is the best Vision card that I have for him. And I just synced both forms. Actually, I didn't. I gave him Zack's gloves in this form. Yeah, well, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. And then, yeah, so he's full on killers. Good to go there. All right, Saz. He originally was going to be my Provoke unit, but I ended up switching Vanille over to the Provoke unit, which is why he has the double Durandal, because I needed him to be full evasion, but I ended up taking off the, I took out the Perfect Provocation, but I left everything else because it honestly doesn't matter. Like, his gear is pretty irrelevant, but you do want him to have plenty of MP because he will be using some of his skills which have a pretty high MP cost, which is why we've got 3 stars on there, because his 100% amp skill costs 1000 MP. So 3 stars reduces that to 500. Even so, casting that, you know, we use it fairly frequently, and so, you know, reducing that cost is really good, which is why we have this Vision card too, because it has static, or it has base MP, which just improves his overall MP. And then Earth Dwells the Heart is there for the guts. Like I said, everybody needs a stack of guts on the party. Hairpin of Purity for the ailment resist, and Starlight Dress for the stop resist. All right, Roberta, really, she's just here as a support unit. Obsidian Bracer is for the preemptive 80% full break, which we will need in a few cases, so it's nice to have. Hairpin of Purity for ailments, Vermilion Flag for death resist, and Sephiroth's Coat for stop resist. Herba's Boon for the 1 stack of guts, and then I gave her the Leave Things to Me card for the preemptive Greatsword in Peril. So it's just nice to have. It just makes sure that you're dealing, you know, a decent amount of damage. You know, the extra 25% boost in damage, you definitely don't want to say no to that if you have it. Is it absolutely required? No, but it's nice to have. All right, so my friend Einskate here built his Crimson Knight Rain for me. Very similar build. You can see Magister's Ring there, Kirasame's Cape, Dark Apocalypse. You know, has all the killers maxed out that we need. So, yeah, Avian, Aquatic, Human, Machine, Dragon, all good. Full LB damage, looking good. He's got, what's his name? Flaring Ether Rains Vision card, which is fine. And there we go. Looking good. All right, so should be good in both forms. Excellent. So thank you so much, Einskate, for providing your rain so that I could get this clear done. So let's get in there, make sure we get this thing done, and have one last joyride with Neovision Esther. All right, so most of these early ones, we're just going to go ahead and first turn kill because Rain is just that strong. All right, we're going to go ahead and shift them. All right, even though, you know, you want to use fire on this one, and yes, I know his normal form is fire locked, but just because he has a trance, we want to go ahead and use up this this trance form right away. Okay. And that's why we're kind of doing this with the timing. So Saz is going to... Saz is going to end Fire Raga. Do Elemental Power Fire on my Rain. And then put me behind the wheel. Which does the 300% attack buff, 300% LB damage, 40% amp to all of these elements. And it does the amp field for 40%. So very nice all-in-one skill. So he's going to imbue. 100% amp Rain. Okay, all that jazz. Roberta's just going to do her LB, which does a 350 full buff, which is not dispellable, which is awesome, and also does a 300% LB buff, but we already have that, so we don't worry about that so much. Esther is just going to fill up her LB. She doesn't need to do anything this turn because it's just going to be a first turn kill, so we're just going to use some skills to fill up her LB here. Vanille is going to go ahead and use up her Quaking Engine, just, you know, to make sure we get this one done. Quaking Engine, Fissure Field, and then it doesn't matter what her last move is. It can be whatever. Okay, so now we have our Imperil Field in play, and that lasts, you know, it carries over every wave. You know, fields carry over into each new wave, which is really nice. All right, so then we just chain it up, and Kylma should just absolutely melt under all that damage. Now, you might have noticed the icon that Rain has a magic cover there. That is going to be a problem in a couple of fights, specifically against Tahto. And I'll explain how we get around that. That's another reason why Roberta is on the team, actually. All right, so now we need to go Lightning. So Saz will use In Thunder, which imbues everybody. Again, put me behind the wheel, and then we'll just do Slash. Okay, because we don't need to bother going using anything else here, really. All right, Roberta will again just do her her LB for the slightly higher attack buff. Vanille can just do her LB. Esther's LB is already full, but we'll just do Energizing Bunny for the slightly higher Machine Killer. You will notice that Rain does do an auto 100% Omni Killer. For 2 turns, so and that's a 100% Omni Killer. But Esther's killer is 120, so why not do a little bit of extra, right? Never hurts. And now we can just go kill these guys. Should be another first turn knockout. Easy peasy. All right. Now, Siren is going to take 2 turns because she does the 5-stack Mirage on turn 1. All right, so we are going to do a little setup turn. And just like all my other clears, we're going to silence her so that she does not do that 5-stack Mirage again. So in my previous clears, I've put Rune Staff on somebody to give them silence. You don't have to have Rune Staff. So in this example, I've given Roberta the Siren Esper, which has silence as one of her nodes. So as long as you have unlocked that node to open up the silence magic, anybody can equip it. Anybody gets access to silence. So we're going to use Roberta to silence Siren. All right, Esther, all she needs to do here is actually her physical cover. She doesn't need to do anything else. So she's just going to do Storm Defender. And then, so she'll do Storm Defender and Energizing Bunny and True Stormbrand. Okay, just to refill her LB from using the Storm Defender. She actually doesn't even need to do that. She could honestly just guard because she has a preemptive physical cover. And the only thing Siren is going to do now that she's silenced is physical damage. But, you know, we'll just go ahead and do the Storm Defender anyways. So the Rains are going to take a setup turn. We'll do... yeah, we'll do Fighter of the Large Sword, Impending Force, and I think that's all they really need to do. Actually, we don't even need to do Impending Force, do we? No, let's just do Fighter of the Large Sword and Double Goliath to get rid of the Mirage. So we'll do Fighter and Double Goliath. Okay. Vanille will just go ahead and do her LB. Why not? because we don't want to waste her SLB next turn. We want to save her SLB. Okay, Saz is going to do in water. Now, the funny thing is, so we all, of course, in Fire Raga imbues everybody with fire. Yep, we knew that. In Thunder imbues everybody with lightning, but in water only imbues a single ally. Very strange. So we have to in water both of the rains. So do, you know, and in water each one separately, and then do Put Me Behind the Wheel. It's a little annoying. I'm not really sure why. I'm not sure why in Thunder imbues everybody, and then in water only imbues a single ally. It's very strange, but it is what it is. Just something to be aware of, so you don't accidentally, you know, just cast in water and think that it's imbuing everybody. It doesn't. It only imbues a single target, so you do have to do each of the rains separately. All right. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and rock this girl's world. You can go ahead and do Roberta's LB for the extra attack buff if you want, but we don't really need it. All right, but let's go ahead and murder. There we go. All right. So far, so good. Alrighty. Alright, so this is why we were saving Vanille's SLB, because we want to use it on Tahto. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We are going to do a setup turn here. Okay. So Esther is going to go ahead and use her LB, which does an Omni cover. But before we do that, alright, before we do that, we need to dispel Rain's magic cover, because he will, for some reason, his preemptive cover supersedes any other cover that's on the field. It's very annoying. So we do have to actually dispel that, or else Rain will jump out and take the magic damage, and he will die because he has no resistances for the magic damage that's incoming. All right, so Roberta's going to do Dragon's Blood, which dispels everybody. Okay, she'll do Dragon's Blood, then she's going to do Inferno Breath to imbue everybody with fire with a 45% amp, and then she can just do like support from the skies maybe. Okay, so make sure she does that first before Esther does her cover and all of that. Okay, so now we've dispelled Rain's cover. Okay, no more cover, thank you. So now Esther can do her Omni cover. Rain's going to do Shelga to provide some magic mitigation for Esther. Fighter of the Large Sword and Impeding Force for the higher attack and mag breaks. The other Rain can do Fighter of Large Sword, Shield Crusher, and maybe like Incremental Energy. Sure, why not? And that should be more than enough. Saz can just do, we've already been imbued with fire, so let's just do Put Me Behind the Wheel. We'll do Elemental Power Fire on my Rain, and we'll do a haste for a little LB fill for Esther. Okay, so there's Esther tanking it like a champ. Alright, so the flare should be fully resisted, because we have the preemptive bar Fire Raja. The Apocalypse is Dark Elemental, so we did get imperiled to Dark, but since we have the extra Dark resistance, as you can see, it doesn't hurt her too much. So he does like a 200% imperil, which is pretty hefty, because she had like 230% Dark resistance. So as you can see, that's a 200% imperil to all those elements. So it's a pretty hefty imperil. So that's why you want to build her for some decent resistances there. If you wanted her to be totally immune to the Apocalypse, then you would build her for 300% Dark resist. But since you actually want her to take some damage so that she counters to refill her LB, it's probably smarter to leave some, you know, some resistances off there for that one. Okay, so we're pretty much good to go. Roberta can do her her LB. And then we don't need to do anything with these guys, do we? Saz can just do like, well, actually Esther can fill up her own LB if she needs to. Yeah, maybe I'll just have her do her own LB here, because we're going to kill Tahto, so there's not really, no one else really needs to do anything else. So we'll just have Esther fill up her own LB just by doing a normal attack. And yeah, Rains can just go ahead and murder this guy. There you go. Easy peasy. All right, now the Aldore defense system. So just like in my in all my other clears, we want to make sure we're pushing the 50% threshold so we do not get dispelled on turn 1. So we are going to go ahead and you know, deal a bit of damage here. Now, since Rains are stuck in their normal form because they are in trance, it's fine. They're in a trance form, so they are stuck with fire element. But that's okay. We're going to do a bit of mix and match here. We are going to do In Thunder, so we're still taking advantage of the global lightning amp field. We'll do Put Me Behind the Wheel, and then we are going to do Elemental Power Fire on my Rain. Okay, so we're still using that 100% fire amp, and so, you know, that way we are sort of mixing and matching there. All right, so yeah, should be good there. All right, Esther is going to do her her Magnus, her electromagnetic shield, and Storm Guardian, because the boss is going to do some fairly heavy damage. And so we want to make sure that she is well covered for that. So she does her electromagnetic Storm Guardian for the 90% mitigation, and then Energizing Bunny, which will do a nice little extra machine killer buff for us. Okay, Roberta can just do Dragon's Fury. Actually, no, in this case, she actually wants to do Inferno Breath, because since Saz did not... Actually, no, never mind. Never mind. We got the fire amp from his cooldown. So yeah, she can go ahead and do her her LB. That's perfectly fine. All right, Vanille just does her LB. All right, and yeah, the Rains do their LBs. We're probably not going to kill them. That's fine. Like I said, all we want to do here is push 50% so we don't get dispelled. Perfect. All right. All right. All right, now you will notice that the Rains have been stopped, and that is okay. That is perfectly okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do Discharge and Recharge, okay, which removes Stop and Charm from everybody, even increases their resistance to Stop and Charm, which is nice. So we're going to use Discharge and Recharge. We'll then do True Stormbrand to refill her LB. And we'll do Quantum, we'll just do Quantum Storm. Something that doesn't consume her LB gauge is what we want to do there, okay? All right, now here the Rains can just do their Mirror of Equity Succession. That should be more than enough to finish off this boss from here. And I don't think anyone needs to do anything else here. You could have Roberta do like Inferno Breath just for like that extra 5% fire amp, since, you know, we are already imbued with fire. Actually, wait, this guy's not imbued. This one's not imbued with fire, are they? Yeah, we'll do it anyways. All right, Inferno Breath, and yeah, let's kill this guy. There you go. All right, Kokuryu. So this will be another 2-turn kill. So we're going to push the 25% threshold on turn 1 and then finish the fight on turn 2. And by doing this, we can actually ignore the petrification. We don't have to worry about that on this one. Okay, Vanille's SLB is up and ready to go just in time. Perfect. The Rain's transform is ready to go. All right. So that way we can go full water and don't have to worry about mixing elements. All right, Saz is going to do in water. Remember, you have to in water both of them, and then put me behind the wheel for the amps. Okay. All right, Roberta is going to I guess Roberta's going to do Dragon Killer here for the slightly bigger Dragon Killer buff, and then just like support from the skies and Mega Breath, I guess. I mean, honestly, all she needs to do is the Dragon Killer. Let's just do that and save ourselves the trouble. Esther honestly doesn't need to do anything here. Yeah, she literally doesn't have to do anything because the boss isn't going to do anything. All the boss is going to do is just do some buffs on this turn, and that's it. So yeah, let's just send these guys. All right, again, making sure we hit that threshold. There we go, we've hit it. All right, so Esther can just guard. All right, he's going to Berserk Vanille because she's our provoke unit, and that's fine. Vanille's done her job. Alright, so now what we're going to do, Roberta is going to do Draconic Triune, which does a 40 LB fill for all allies. Okay. And then Saz is going to finish filling them up with triple haste, because haste does 8 AoE LB fill. Alright, and then we just reload and we go again. There we go. So you can see Esther's tanking this just fine, mostly because she doesn't really have to take much of anything at all, at least not for the first 6 waves. But now we are getting into the serious bosses, and Esther is going to actually have to do a little bit of tanking. Okay, so we'll start with her Omni cover. Okay, actually, before I forget, all right, once again, this is one of those fights where we have to dispel Rain's auto cover, because there's a chance on this turn that the boss will do, he'll either do an AoE physical or he'll do an AoE magic attack. And we have to make sure that that the Rains do not jump out and take the magic attack, okay? So we'll do Dragon's Blood to dispel the cover, Inferno Breath, and then we'll do like support from the skies or something, okay? So make sure she does that first. Okay. And then Esther will do her her Omni cover. Okay. Vanille can do her LB. Saz will do the usual in Fire Raga. We'll do we'll save the elemental power of fire. We'll do Put Me Behind the Wheel for the amps, and then yeah, we can just do like, I guess we'll just do Slash or something. All right. So yeah, we will do like a burst here, just so we don't have quite as much that we need to chew through on the burst turn on turn 5. Okay, so nice chunk of damage there. All right, it'll do 2 single target uncoverable attacks. Okay, super scatter laser. That's the magic attack. All right, which if either of the Rain had jumped out in front of to take that, they would have died. Okay, so that's why you got to dispel their cover. All right, so now Esther is good to go. She'll do, she can just do like Storm Guardian, Energizing, True Storm, just to refill her LB. Okay, that'll give her 90% mitigation for the rest of it. However, she's not really going to need it. Most of the damage from here on out is Elemental, which she is going to resist, but we're going to do Shelga anyways for magic mitigations. We'll do Impeding Force for the attack and mag breaks, Elemental Shelter for the fire resist, because the boss will do a big fire imperil. Like it's a 200% fire imperil, so that will provide a 200% buff for Esther, so that she takes no damage from the fire magic. The boss also does some water magic damage, but no imperil. So since Esther's already built for water resist, she'll take no damage from that attack. All right, this rain can honestly just kind of hang out. Doesn't really need to do anything, so we'll just do incremental energy. Roberta can do Dragon's Fury for the undispellable buffs. That way Esther has a nice defensive spirit buff. And Saz can just help Esther refill her LB, I guess. Vanille can just guard. She doesn't need to do anything. Alright, again, the 2 single target physicals, which Vanille will evade. Alright, Esther, again, a little bit of magic damage, but thanks to the magic mitigation, she takes very little damage. Okay. So let's see. I don't want to use her SLB. We're saving her SLB for the next fight against Chaotic Engine, but we will go ahead and use Fissure Field here just to make sure that the field is still up on the burst turn, which is turn 5. All right. So yeah, on this turn, the boss is going to do fire magic, water magic, and then he's going to dispel everybody. But that's okay. We're fine with that. Because on turn 4, all he's going to do is one big magic attack. And that's where all the guts comes in. We're just going to take it to the face. All right, no one's going to tank the attack on turn 4. We're going to let the team take it to the face because it just does one hit. Everybody guts is out and everybody survives. All right, so it works out nicely. Here we can finally do Shield Crusher with this rain. Why not? This rain can do Impeding Force just to maintain our attack and mag breaks. Roberta can just hang out. She doesn't need to do anything. Saz can also just hang out because Esther's LB is full. So we're good to go there. Alright, so we have been dispelled. Esther's actually going to go to normal form here and use her LB because we want to have her, we would like to have her Magnus back for, we would like to have that back to go up against Leviathan. Oh wait, no, I can't do that because then it's going to overwrite the fields. Never mind. So we're actually just going to hang out. So wait a minute. I'm trying to think now. Was there something she needed to do in this form? No, there wasn't. So she can actually just hang out here in her Brave Shift form. All right, never mind. Forget I said anything. I think I was thinking of a different rotation that that I was going to do. So yeah, she can just guard. Vanille can honestly just guard. Saz. Are we full on our LBs? Yeah, so they're full on their LBs. So we'll do their mod boost. We can, since this is the last time we'll use fire, they can go ahead and do their elemental burst, fire, and lightning just to make sure we kill this guy, surpassing limits even. All right, because we won't need that. So let's do fire, lightning, surpassing limits, fighter of large sword. We can go ahead and re-imbue ourselves with Inferno Breath. Saz, again, doesn't need to do anything because LBs are all full, so he can just guard. Everyone is going to guts out. Actually, you know what we can do? We can go ahead and heal up Esther here. No, we want to do that next turn after the guts. After the guts, we're going to use Lakshmi to heal the entire party. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do all that. All right, so he's just going to do one big magic attack. It's one hit, and that's it. Oh, he'll also do like a 10% heal, but that's fine. So there you go. Everybody guts is out. Saz can summon Lakshmi. Okay, everybody is good to go. So we still have our imperils, fields, breaks. Yeah, we're all looking good. So should be able to kill this guy, no problem. Okay, we don't have a machine killer buff, but that's fine. We really don't care. This should be more than enough to kill the boss from here. So let's do it. Okay, there we go. So what's our turn count so far? We did a 1-1-2, 1-1-2, 2-2-2. So that's 10 turns. 5 turns on here, 15 turns. We're gonna do a 2-turn here on Chaotic Engine. So that'll be 17 turns, leaving 13 turns to finish Leviathan, which is plenty. All right, so Vanille does her SLB, all right, which is why we were saving it for this occasion. Okay, Saz will do in Thunder. Okay, our Rains, our Rains have Trance Shift, so we're gonna go in Trance. Okay, perfect timing. All right, Saz is going to, in Thunder, put me behind the wheel and I guess just like slash. Okay, Roberta's going to do her LB. All right, and then we're just going to LB, LB. Esther's going to come to normal, come back to normal form. Okay. All right, and she's going to get ready to do Power of Destroy Nethicite. This is where this comes in handy, because when you push the 50% threshold, the only thing Chaotic Engine will do is cast one cast of Meteor, and that is a magic spell which can be sealed. And so we're going to seal that so nobody takes any damage. Okay, so let's make sure we push that 50% threshold here, though. We should. Too easy. All right, Esther can do Power to Destroy Nethicite. It's going to seal the Meteor, and we will be good to kill next turn. There you go. Nobody takes any damage. Perfect. All right, Saz is going to just... he's just going to do Triple Haste. Roberta does Draconic Triune. Okay, and we should be good to go from here. Yep, Esther's LB is full, which is what we want, so that she can do her her LB next turn against Leviathan, and we should be good to go. Just double checking myself here, looking good. Fire, lightning, all that jazz, and yeah, let's kill this thing. Okay, so the big baddie himself. So this is probably Esther's, greatest test of her tanking abilities here, because she actually is going to have to put up with tanking some damage in this fight. All right, Esther will come back to her Brave Shift form. She'll cast her her LB. We will have to dispel again, because Leviathan does magic attacks. We need to make sure we are dispelling Rain so that he does not jump out and take the magic damage, because he will die. So Dragon's Blood. All right, we'll do Aquatic Killers, although it's more for the aquatic mitigations, because we're going to get dispelled on turn 4 before we can start dealing any damage anyway, so we don't care about the killers yet. We just want the mitigations from this. So she'll do Aquatic, she can do Support from the Skies. What's going on here? What did I do? Aquatic Killer. Oh no, sorry. Alright, let's do Dragon's Blood, Aquatic Killer, and Support from the Skies. Okay, so we're going to go and do that. Yeah. Let's do that before anybody else goes. Dragon's Blood. Alright. Alright, now don't forget you have to hit this guy with ice. You have to hit him 3 turns in a row, and then it breaks on the 4th turn. So what Saz is going to do, he's going to do Enfrost on himself and Enfrost on Roberta, because next turn Saz is actually going to be busy removing the Petrify from, what's her name? What's her name? Vanille. Because Vanille's going to get petrified, and that's fine. It is what it is. And so he's going to Enfrost himself and... actually, no. He doesn't need to Enfrost himself. What am I thinking? So he'll Enfrost Vanille and Enfrost Roberta so that they can do ice damage in case, you know, Saz might be busy filling LBs or something else, right? But then he's going to do Cryo Shot, which does ice damage to Leviathan to satisfy that on this turn. Okay? Vanille on this turn is just going to do... on this turn, let's just do Short Circuit to make sure we have an 85% attack and mag break. Now, it only lasts for 3 turns, and that is important because I've definitely screwed up by forgetting to reapply the attack and mag break because I thought it lasted for 5 turns when it only lasts for 3. So I'm going to be using this a lot for over the next few turns. Okay, but it also deals some damage while it's at it, so it satisfies that hitting him, you know, hitting him with ice. Actually, no, this one doesn't do it, does it? Which one hits him? Oh, it's the Bursting Break. All right, that's good to know. So I'm just going to go ahead and set her up with a Short Circuit, Bursting Break, Annihilating Shot. Okay. She'll be petrified next turn, but then on turn 3, I'll just have her reload and repeat. All right, so Esther does her Omni Cover. She is going to need some support, so we'll do Shelga for the magic mitigations. We'll do Impeding Force for the higher attack and mag breaks. And then... we'll just do Incremental Energy. This one... it doesn't really need to do much of anything, really. We can just do Incremental Energy for some LB fill, just to help Esther refill her LB, because as we know, all of her skills cost LB. She will refill some of it here, because she'll take a little bit of damage. All right, so the petrification is single target, but you will notice that he also does AoE stop. So the rains have been stopped, but that's okay. As we know, Esther has that in her kit. There's an effect for that. So discharge and recharge to get rid of the stop on the party. We're actually going to save Storm Guardian. We're going to save that one for later, just to make sure, because later in the fight, Leviathan gets a little bit more dangerous. He's not really all that dangerous here. He's a lot more dangerous after, like, in sort of the second half of the fight. So we're going to save that Storm Guardian for later. Hopefully it doesn't end up biting me in the butt. And then Esther can just do, like, Energizing Bunny and... yeah, I want to save True Stormbrand for that LB fill for later. So let's do Discharge, let's do Energizing Bunny, and let's do like Quantum Storm. Okay. Roberta here can just do... We don't need to... She hasn't been imperiled yet. I think it's this turn. Yeah, so on this turn, the boss is going to do a big 300%... a 300% ice and water imperil. But... again, that's why we brought Roberta, because she can remove that. Saz is going to be busy casting Isuna or Stona, doesn't matter. He gets those from the Lakshmi Esper, so make sure you have those unlocked on your Lakshmi Esper. So he can do Isuna or Stona, doesn't matter. Both of them will cure the petrification on Vanille. And then Vanille is just going to, yeah, she's just going to reload repeat to hit the boss with ice. Okay, and Roberta can go ahead and do... What should she do here? She can do her LB, I guess, for the Undispellable. Well, we shouldn't use that. We shouldn't use that yet. Let's just wait on that. We'll just hit the boss with ice again, just to make sure we've satisfied that requirement. Let's see, the Rains can... Yeah, just keep casting Shelga, I guess. I just want to make sure that we maintain the attack and mag breaks. It looks like they're still good, so I'm not too worried about that. This one can just guard. We don't really care what's going on there. All right, so Esther should resist all the magic damage. Okay, everybody counters from the discharge and recharge. All right. So we have been imperiled. So this is where we want to use Ignitas's domain to remove the big imperils. Because if we look at Esther now, whew, yeah, she's been hit hard by those imperils. And so we're going to remove that using Ignitas's domain. And then we'll also just do Ignitas's domain, and then we'll do a double mystic just to make sure that we're hitting the boss with ice and satisfying that. Esther's going to go ahead and do another ball lightning here. She'll do her LB just to re-up her Omni cover. It will get dispelled next turn, but the idea is we want to try and fill up her LB so that it's ready to go after the dispel on turn 4. All right, Saz is going to go ahead and do a triple haste. All right, to help Esther refill some LB. She should do, even though she's going to resist some of the magic, there is some non-elemental magic that she's going to take on this turn, so she should counter her way back to full. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. We're going to save her SLB for turn 5. So all she's going to do here is just reload and repeat. I think the attack and mag breaks are about to expire, so let's go ahead and do... Which one is it? Impeding Force for another 3 turns of 88% attack and mag breaks, which will come in handy. We'll do another Shelga just, to make sure. Okay. All right. So yeah, that was a fixed attack, so she didn't counter that, but I think this turn is where the non-elemental magic comes, and so she should counter herself back to full, so that after we get dispelled at the end of this turn, she should have a full LB gauge ready to go. She's just going to guard on this turn. She doesn't need to do anything. She'll just guard to, even more greatly reduce the incoming damage on this turn, because the wall of water is going to break, and we want to make sure that the Esther doesn't die, right? So the Rains are actually just going to hang out here, because you see they still have 2 turns on their trance. So we're actually going to do our setup turn next turn, because we need that 1 extra turn anyways for their trance form to become available. So that's why we're going to do that. Roberta can go ahead and do her Dragon's Fury, because we honestly, the buffs are undispellable, and so we don't care about the dispel that's coming on this turn. Saz can... You can just go ahead and do another triple haste just for some extra LB fill. Vanille can just reload and repeat. Alright, Vanille gets stoned again because she's a stoner. That's alright. We'll just have Saz take care of that. Because we're not doing any damage on this turn anyway, so we don't really care about the imbue. So he'll just do Isuna on Vanille. She does her SLB. Esther does not have a full LB gauge. You've got to be kidding me here. Alright, that is redonkulous. Esther, you let me down. There's always got to be something, right? So let's do Aquatic Killer. Let's do a double Mystic Breath to see if we can generate some LB Crysts for Esther. My gosh, you have got to be kidding me. Esther, you kill me. All right, that's actually okay. We can do incremental energy, which should do enough, because it does 6 LB fill. Okay. So yeah, if it doesn't work, it's fine. So we'll do Shelga. We're going to do incremental energy. Fighter of Fire, large sword. Fighter of Fire, large sword. Shield Crusher. And we don't need to do Impeding Force because, well, we can't. And I guess we can just do Surpassing Limits because we've already done our Shelga. We've done our incremental energy. Let's make sure that fills up Esther, actually, because we might need to do one more incremental energy. Okay, no, that was enough. Perfect. If it's not quite enough, then the other rain can also do incremental energy. But this one's just going to do Fighter of Large Sword, Shield Crusher, and Surpassing Limits Plus. Okay, so Esther did get the Shelga, right? Yeah, reduces magic damage. Good. All right, so she does her Omni cover. Rain's set up for their burst on next turn. Okay. Oh, now you fill up your LB. Gosh, Esther, you kill me. You kill me. All right. So here, Esther is going to do her Storm Guardian for her 90%, 90% mitigation. All right, that will make sure that she has absolutely no trouble getting through the rest of the fight. She'll also do Discharge and Recharge to make sure that everyone is stop resistant, because I think he does another AoE stop at some point in the next few turns, and then we can just do like a Storm Brand to help refill her LB a little bit there. Okay, we'll do that. Roberta can do Aquatic Killers. We can do Aquan Killer, Support from the Skies, and Mega Breath. Saz will go ahead and imbue in water on the 2 rains, and then do Put Me Behind the Wheel for the amps and the amp field. The rains will shift and do their LBs. All we have to do is push 50% here, which is only 10 billion. The boss has 20 billion HP, so as long as we do 10 billion damage or more, we're good to go. We'll honestly probably do 20 billion, but that's fine. Vanille is going to go back to doing her, we'll do Fissure Field, why not? Short Circuit, Bursting Break to make sure we still have our attack and mag breaks, because those are important. If those attack and mag breaks go away, Esther dies. All right, no questions asked, she's dead. If this boss does not have his attack and mag break in place, Esther will die. So you got to always make sure that those are happening. All right, so let's make sure we hit 50% and we should be good to go. Boom. All right, like I said, we'll probably do 20 billion here. Almost. All right, so we almost killed the boss from 100% there, but we only needed, like I said, we only needed, what was it, 10 billion. So that looks like a Dispel. I've talked about this in my previous clears. It's not a Dispel. It just removes any water buffs that you might have, which we don't have any. We're not using any. We're just using innate resistances, so we are fine there. All right, and Esther still has all of her resistances up, so we are good to go. Vanille got stoned again because that's just what Vanille does, but honestly, her job is kind of done here. We honestly don't have to worry about her anymore. So we can just, I wish Roberta had one more, I wish she had one more charge of her Draconic Triune, because then we could just go ahead and do another LB here and finish out the fight. But unfortunately, Saz can't do quite enough to fill everybody, because that's only 24 LB fill, and the Rains definitely need more than that. So yeah, so we do have, unfortunately, we do have to take one more setup turn here, but it's fine because we all have cover. We've got one more turn of cover. Our attack and mag breaks are still good and in place, so Esther can just guard. We will go ahead and have Saz do his LB fill. Esther will guard. Roberta can I guess she can just do another Dragon's Fury. Why not? The Reigns will do Fill LB. This one can do Surpassing Limits. Why not? And I guess a Shelga. Why not another Shelga for Esther, just to make sure she's taken care of. Fill LB. Oh, we've got Impeding Force. Let's do that for the 88% breaks. And then Incremental Energy, maybe? Yeah, why not? All right, and that should be good. So we're all set up. And we are ready to wipe this boss off the face of the earth next turn. Okay, so he does some imperils first, but because we have the mitigation and she's guarding, she takes like no damage. So even though she got the imperils there to water and ice, it's fine. So she did get the big imperils, but because she's guarding and has 90% mitigation, she is fine. All right, so now we are good to go. I'm just going to make sure that the Reigns are once again imbued with water, because I always freak out that I'm missing something. So might as well go ahead and water them. I'll go ahead and water Roberta too, and she can just ramp up the chain for us. Just so we're like maximizing our damage here. Okay. And there you go. That's an all missions clear of the Advent of Purgatory boss rush using Neovision Esther as our tank. It can be done as long as you know what to expect. You have the right resistances. She can tank it just fine. All right. So for that commenter out there that said that really wanted me to do it, and that said it would be awesome if I could do this with Esther. Hopefully, I have become your hero for tanking this one with Esther. So yeah, there's the damage output. Obviously, the Reigns doing all the damage there. That should be no surprise at all. They are very, very strong in this trial. Thank you again, Einskate, for the rain. And yeah, hopefully this was entertaining. I doubt anyone's going to want to actually use Esther as a tank for this, but hey, maybe you do. Maybe you would like to honor the bunny goddess as well and bring her into this fight. Honestly, you could probably use her with the new Esther that's coming out after maintenance and follow this guide, just taking out the Reigns and putting in the new Esther. Would probably work just fine. All right, so just something to think about. But anyways, hopefully this was entertaining. Maybe it would be helpful to somebody. But now let's all just celebrate the fact that Neovision Plus Esther is going to be with us very, very soon. I am definitely excited. Looking forward to having my Esther, my Neovision Plus Esther, as soon as maintenance is over. All right, so definitely stick with me. There's going to be lots of content to do with Neovision Plus Esther after maintenance, and I will be itching to get it done and get out some content to you guys tomorrow. So thank you so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.